Hello, welcome to the Unit 3 from A2 level. In this case, we're going to talk about superlatives. For example, we have this beautiful picture over here. What are we seeing? Well, this is the longest suspension bridge in the world. This is the Akachi Kaiko Bridge. It is located in Japan and it has 2.4 miles long. This beautiful place over here is the hottest place in the world, so be careful. This is the Dead Valley. It is located in California, United States of America, and in this place, the temperature can rise up to 50 Celsius degree. Also, I have in here the tallest bridge in the world. This is the Millau Viaduct. It is located in France, and it is 1.53 miles tall. Also, I'm showing you in here this beautiful building. This is the tallest building in the world. It is known as Burj Khalifa. It is located in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates. And it has 828 meters tall. This beautiful place over here is the tallest waterfall. It is known as the Angel Falls. It is located in Venezuela and it has 979 meters tall. This bridge is the longest cross-sea bridge. It is the Suhai Bridge. It is located in China and it has 31 miles long. Also, we have in here the biggest football stadium. It is located in Rungrado, First May Stadium, and it is located specifically in North Korea, and its capacity can get up to 114,000 people. And I'm showing you over here the highest mountain in the world. This is the Mauna Kea. It is located in Hawaii, United States of America, and it has 10,000 meters high. Before continuing, I can present you a listening in which you can listen to other interesting places in the world. Specifically, what do you know? This is a listening exercise in which I need you to circle or at least write down the option A, B, or C and guess the answers to the questions. For example, in the number 1, they mentioned the world's tallest trees grow, and option A, Japan, option B, Brazil, option C, United States, and I need you to write down how tall are they. The same for the highest lake in the world, the longest mountain range, the world's largest archipelago, the world's deepest canyon, and by last, the world's smallest volcano. So listen up and write down what do you think do you listen over here?
Welcome to What Do You Know? Our first player is Maria Lopez from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you.
All right. So, Maria, what topic do you want to start with?
Natural wonders, please.
Natural wonders it is. Okay, here's question number 1. What country has the world's tallest trees?
It's the United States.
Correct. The world's tallest trees are California redwoods in the United States. The tallest redwoods are about 370 feet tall, which is about 113 meters. Good job, Maria. Now, here's the next question. What's the highest lake in the world?
I think it's Lake Titicaca, isn't it?
That's right. Lake Titicaca in Peru is the highest lake. It's 3,812 meters above sea level. Here's question 3. What's the longest mountain range?
Mountain range?
Yes, a mountain range, a group of mountains.
The Andes?
Right again. The Andes in South America are about 7,600 kilometers long. Okay, next question. What is the world's largest archipelago?
An archipelago is a group of islands, right?
That's right.
Oh, I think, it's the Philippines. No, wait, it's Indonesia.
Correct. Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago. It has about 13,000 islands. Question 5. What country has the deepest canyon?
That's easy. It's the Grand Canyon in the United States.
Oh, sorry. The deepest canyon in the world is in Tibet. It's the Grand Canyon of Yarlung Tsangpo. It's over 5,000 meters deep. That's about 16,400 feet. Okay, now the final question. You need a correct answer to stay in the game. Where is the world's smallest volcano?
Okay, well, I think the world's smallest active volcano is in the Philippines. But there's a smaller volcano in Puebla, in Mexico. It's not active, but it is a volcano, so I'm going to say Mexico.
It is in Mexico, and it's only 13 meters or 43 feet high. Congratulations, Maria! You answered 5 out of 6 questions correctly. Let's go on to the next topic.
Okay, you can stop the video or you can play it again in order to listen in a second time this audio. If you don't need to do that, let's check it out. In the first question, if you had the United States, you were correct. How tall are they? They are 370 feet or 113 meters tall. In the second, it is the Lake Titicaca. How high is it? It is 3,812 meters above sea level. In the number 3, the longest mountain range is the Andes. How long is it? It is 7,600 kilometers long. The world's largest archipelago is in Indonesia. And how many islands does it have? It has about 13,000 islands. The world's deepest canyon is in Tibet. And how deep is it? It is 5,000 meters or 16,400 feet deep. The world's smallest volcano is in Mexico. And how high is it? It is just 13 meters or 43 feet high. She also mentioned a difference between two volcanoes. What was the difference? Please comment below or let me know your answer. Let's talk about the grammar related to adjective in the comparative and the superlative form. Basically, you have an adjective the adjective form cold. In a comparative form, it is colder, and in a superlative form, it is coldest. In a sentence, you can say, Medellin is colder than Cartagena. Bogota is the coldest. This is for regular adjectives. Basically, you just add er for the comparative form and est for the superlative form. But if you have only one syllable adjective with one consonant plus vowel plus consonant, for example, big, in big, you can see consonant, vowel, consonant. So you need to double the last consonant in order to make the comparative form. It is bigger. And the same for the superlative form, the biggest. For example, Medellin is bigger than Cartagena. Bogota is the biggest. If the adjective has two syllables ending in y, for example, windy, in the comparative form, you need to put windier. That is changing the y using I-E-R. And in the superlative form, you can write down the windiest. That is I-E-S-T. For example, spring is windier than summer. Autumn is the windiest. Two or more syllables not ending in Y, for example, interesting. Well, in the comparative form, you can say more or less interesting than, or in the superlative form, you can say the most or the least interesting. In here, the adjective does not change. You just add the most or the least. For example, Daniel is more interesting than Julian. Daryl is the most interesting. If you have an irregular adjective, for example, good or bad, in the comparative form, if you use good, it would be better. Or if you use bad, it would be worse. In the superlative form, the best, the worst. Eating vegetables is better than eating fast food. Cooking at home is the best way to eat healthy. Sleeping 4 hours is worse than sleeping 5 hours. Sleeping more than 8 hours is the worst thing you can do. Also, you can express questions with how plus adjective. This is, for example, how high is the Mount Everest? You have the WH question how plus an adjective, in this case high, related to the Mount Everest. Or it could be deep. How deep is the Pacific Ocean? How old are the Easter Island statues? How long is the Nile River? How wide is the Grand Canyon? Or how large is the Sahara Desert? In the case of the Mount Everest, we can say that it is 8,850 meters high. In the case of the Pacific Ocean, we can mention it is about 11,000 meters deep. And how old are the Easter Island statues? Well, all these statues are at least 1,500 years old. How long is the Nile River? It is 6,695 kilometers long. How wide is the Grand Canyon? It is about 29 kilometers wide. And how large is the Sahara Desert? It is 9.1 million square kilometers large. I have this exercise for you. I have this girl, she's Anna. This boy over here is Josh. This girl is Janet. And this boy over here is Ronald. And I'm going to show you some information about them. For example, Anna is 23, sorry. Anna is 23 years old. Josh is 18 years old. Janet, 19 years old. And Ronald is 23 years old. Anna is 51 kilograms. She weighs 51 kilograms. Josh weighs 67 kilograms. Janet 49 kilograms. And Ronald 65 kilograms. Anna is 1.67 meters tall. Josh is 1.70 meters tall. Janet is 1.71 meters tall. And Ronald, he is 1.75 meters tall. I invite you to make comparisons between them. You can write down over this. You can write down in this video, or you can send me your answers. Please make comparisons and superlative form for each of them. It could be around 5 sentences. If you already do that, I'm going to show you the following part in this case. The following part is focusing just on superlatives, grammar related to superlatives. If you have short adjective, the plus the adjective, then to the adjective you need to put est. For example, what's the tallest building in the world? What's the busiest restaurant? For long adjectives, you can use most or least, the most, the least, and the adjective in this base form. What's the most interesting city in your country? What's the least expensive store? In the irregular superlatives, we can mention good or bad. For example, in the case of good, it is the best, and in the case of bad, it is the worst. What's the best city to visit? What's the worst problem in your country? In the superlatives using nouns, it is the most and the noun. For example, which country has the most tourism? Which stadium has the most seats? So let's practice. What's the tallest building in your city? What's the most beautiful neighborhood in Cucuta? What's the biggest city in your country? What's the most expensive supermarket in Cucuta? What's the cheapest supermarket in your city? What's the best university in Colombia? Which Colombian city has the most tourism? Please comment below or send me to my email your answers. I have in here another listening practice. This is travel talk. Listen to the radio interview and complete the sentences. This is a long listening, so listen up And if you need it, play this audio once again in order to correct or review your ideas. We're going to talk about the Caribbean cruise, the Copper Canyon, the Antarctica, the Petra city. This is a city located in Jordan. And what are we going to talk about? Well, what's the most interesting place you've ever been to? What's the most beautiful place you've seen? What's the best trip you've taken? What's the most exciting things you've done on a trip? And also in this interview, the interviewer asked, what was your worst trip? And what was the reason? So pay attention.
Welcome to Travel Talk. I'm your host, Ray Martin. My guest today is travel writer Jill Ryan. Jill has traveled around the world many times. Her new book is called A Traveler's Tales. Jill, welcome to Travel Talk.
Thank you, Ray. It's great to be here.
Jill, you have the most interesting life. You clearly love traveling.
Yeah, I really do. I love learning new things about the world.
Well, let's talk about your new book. You know, you've been to some of the most interesting places in the world.
I have. And it's those most interesting and most exciting places that I talk about in my book.
So then, tell me, what is the most interesting place you've ever been to?
Well, one really interesting place I visited is Petra in Jordan. It's the most amazing city.
Well, the pictures in your book of Petra are certainly amazing. They're some of the most interesting.
Yes, they sure are. The city is actually all rock. The name Petra means city of rock.
Really? Now, you've been to some beautiful places too. What's the most beautiful place you've seen?
That's a difficult question. There are so many beautiful places. I think Antarctica has the most beautiful natural features I've ever seen.
It sure does. I mean, the photographs of Antarctica are incredible. Okay, let's talk about your best and worst trips. What's the best trip you've taken?
My trip to Copper Canyon in Mexico last year was definitely the best. The colors were just wonderful. And actually, it was pretty exciting. I rode the train through Copper Canyon. I think, actually, that's the most exciting thing I've ever done.
I bet. It looks incredibly beautiful. It looks like the kind of place everyone should go to.
Yeah, they really should. It's the most beautiful train ride. Amazing views.
Okay, well, now I have to ask, what was your worst trip?
Well, 2 years ago, I took a Caribbean cruise. The cruise was great, but I got very seasick. I had to stay in my cabin for 4 days. I didn't see or do anything. So, yeah, that was the worst trip.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Not fun at all. Well, Jill, I want to thank you for being on Travel Talk. And good luck with your new book.
You're welcome, Ray. It was my pleasure.
So let's discuss, what is the most interesting place you've ever been to? If you want to listen to the audio once again, you can go back, or we can continue over here. For the first question, she answered Petra in Jordan, and also she mentioned is the most amazing city. The city is actually all rock. The name Petra means city of rock. What's the most beautiful place you've seen? She mentioned Antarctica. It has the most beautiful natural features I've ever seen. For the number three, what's the best trip you've taken? She mentioned Copper Canyon. The colors were just wonderful. What's the most exciting things you've done on a trip? She mentioned in the interview, I rode the train through Copper Canyon, a train ride. And by last, what was your worst trip? She mentioned a Caribbean cruise. The cruise was great, but I got very seasick. So how was it? Did you have all the answers correctly? Let's continue. This is an exercise in which I need you to make a review first, make a review online, and search about each of them, search about the information, and then you can build each sentence. So this is the last exercise. And I'm just going to show you the number one as an example, and then you're going to build the following. For example, I have the letter A, chimpanzee, followed by gorilla, and by last, dolphin. What are we going to talk about those animals? Well, we're going to make comparisons and superlatives with the adjective intelligent. For example, a dolphin is more intelligent than a gorilla, but the chimpanzee is the most intelligent animal. So continue. What type of comparisons and superlatives can we make using Kilimanjaro, Everest, Mont Blanc? Obviously, we need to make those exercises using the adjectives in the list. High, long, big, fast, hard, populated, tall, large, dry, hot, and so on. Let me know your answers.